Hello, everyone. I'm Randy Sparagi. Welcome to the NBA Playoff Preview, brought to you by Spalding. We've got a finals rematch from 2 years ago. Lakers and Celtics will tip things off on Thursday night for a preview. I'm pleased to be joined by our NBA analyst, Marcus Johnson. Hey. Here we go again, huh?
Man, let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Well, you know, 2 years ago, I'm sure you remember this, when the Lakers and Celtics met in the finals, Boston dominated the front court play. And, of course, Andrew Bynum didn't play in that series. And Ron Artest wasn't in a Lakers uniform back then, so who's got the edge in the front court in this series?
And remember, Trevor Ariza did play, but he had been out 4 months with a bad foot right before the finals, right before the playoffs, so he was just a shell of his former self, as Howard Cosell would like to say. But in terms of an advantage, I think with Andrew Bynum, he got his knee drained a couple of days ago, so that should help him in terms of health-wise for the finals. If he is 60 to 70%, I think he gives the Lakers a major advantage. Why? Because of matchup issues. Now Kendrick Perkins stays away from Pau Gasol. He guards Andrew Bynum. That matches up KG, Kevin Garnett, Pau Gasol, which is a little bit better matchup for Pau inside. So I like the Lakers. I think Pau Gasol learned a lot from that first go-round against Kevin Garnett, against Kendrick Perkins. I mean, they just intimidated him. They made him feel like a Spaniard without a country, a guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think he's a lot better prepared mentally, emotionally, after winning the championship last year against Orlando to deal with what he's going to have to deal with in this year's finals.
All right, so you give the Lakers the edge in the front court.
Yeah, Lakers edge.
All right, let's
Ron Artest.
He's the difference.
Well, the difference because he'll be defending Paul Pierce. Kobe doesn't have to defend Paul Pierce. Artest did a great job blocking up Durant. Did a great job with the Jason Richardson of Phoenix, who came in averaging 22 points a game. Artest locked him up. Artest, his attitude, his demeanor, his nastiness, that's going to be the gating factor in terms of that toughness factor.
All right, so there you go with that. So let's get to the backcourt. Kobe Bryant has turned his game up a notch, if that's possible. Yeah. Kobe scored 30 or more points in 10 of the last 11 playoff games. But the Celtics also have some strong backcourt players. Rajon Rondo, maybe the best point guard in the league right now, and Ray Allen, always solid. So which team's got the advantage in the backcourt?
Well, you know, the way Rondo has played in the playoffs, I think the big question is going to be how long does it take before Phil Jackson matches up Kobe Bryant on Rajon Rondo. Now, you remember Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City, who I thought would beat the Lakers in that first round based on just mindset where the Lakers were at that time. But he was having his way with Derek Fisher. And then Kobe Bryant said, look, I want to guard this guy. He guarded him. He kept him quiet the rest of that series. A big reason why the Lakers were able to beat that team. I think that's going to be the matchup, Kobe against Rondo. So I give the advantage to the Lakers because I think Kobe can control Rondo at Rondo's offensive end, but nobody can control Kobe at the defensive end. I think he's a different player, Kobe Bryant, than he was 2 years ago. And that strategy that the Celtics used 2 years ago, loading up on Kobe, leaving Odom, some of these guys wide open, I just think the Lakers will be better prepared for it this time around.
So you're giving the edge to the Lakers.
I mean, Kobe is playing better than anybody in the world right now. I mean, I was a big LeBron over Kobe guy 2 months ago. That's shifted. Now, Kobe, his ability to knock down shots and carry teams on his shoulders in the fourth quarter is just unparalleled in basketball right now today.
I'm seeing a pattern developing here.
Yes.
Let's move to the bench. The Celtics have some time-tested reserves, guys like Rasheed Wallace, Tony Allen, while the Lakers have a good supporting cast in Lamar Odom, Shannon Brown, and Jordan Farmar. So who's got the better bench?
Well, now I'll go a different way on this one. I think the Celtics, I mean, you mentioned a couple of guys in Tony Allen and Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed, the temperamental Rasheed, he's got some back issues, but he has played spectacular, you know, within what you want Rasheed to do, but spectacular playoff basketball, knock down clutch shots, great interior defense, just been a real thorn in his opponent's side. I think Nate Robinson is a guy, in this last series against Orlando, who was a big key for the Celtics, and he's going to be a problem. Big Baby Davis, we don't talk about him, but he's a big 6'9", 280-pound guy who moves and is nimble and all that. I think the Celtics have the advantage because this Laker bench sometimes shows up, sometimes not. So I give the advantage to the Celtics in that area.
You don't always know what you're going to get with that Lakers bench.
Exactly.
All right, we always talk about a team's X factor. So give me an X factor for each team.
Well, that's a tough one. Rasheed is a guy that could fill that role. I think, Nate Robinson, Lakers may be able to control him a little better than Orlando did in the great game he had against the Magic. But I'll go with one of those two guys. I think, Nate Robinson, Big Baby Davis maybe would be an X factor. It's hard to point to one guy on that team. Ray Allen, you don't think of him as a typical X factor, but if Kobe moves to Rajon Rondo, Ray's guarded by Derek Fisher for a bulk of minutes in that series, then Ray Allen's ability to score 20 to 25, 30 points a game could be huge for the Celtics. Now, for the Lakers, I think the X factor for them is going to be Lamar Odom. The last time these two teams met, the Celtics left Lamar Odom, dared him to shoot outside shots to make them so they can load up on Kobe defensively. Lamar has got to be the guy. If the outside shot is not falling, he's still got to get the 13, 14, 17 rebound games like he's capable of doing. He's going to be the X factor for the Lakers.
So it's going to come down to the matchups, essentially, is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sure you remember 2 years ago. We had a little wager.
Okay.
I went with the Celtics.
Yeah, you did.
You went with the Lakers.
Okay.
I'm happy to report that he paid his debt.
Yeah.
So, what are we going to do in this series? I'm telling you right now, I like the Lakers because I think they're a better team than they were 2 years ago. I think the Celtics are a little older than they were, obviously, 2 years ago. Most importantly, though, the Lakers have that revenge factor working for them. So, where are you leaning? And how many games is the series going to go?
I'm with you, and you know, I'm thinking 6 games. I think the Lakers will win this, and my thing with them is that this is why you bring Ron Artest onto your team for the playoffs in general, but specifically for this matchup against a guy like a Paul Pierce who just out-toughed Kobe Bryant and that entire Laker front line the last go-round. It's not going to happen because of Ron Artest this time. I think the Lakers in 6 games this time.
So we actually both agree.
Yes, we do.
How about that?
I saved myself.
We'll see how
buying
things
you dinner
go
this year, Ryan.
That is it for this NBA Finals preview presented by Spalding. Spalding, true to the game. For Marcus Johnson, I'm Randy Sparagi. Enjoy the series, everybody.